And for more, let's cross to Istanbul. Selin Sayek-Böke Member of the Turkish Parliament from the opposition CHP party. Thank you for speaking with us here on France 24.
Great pleasure.
The rerun of the election, it's happening June 23rd. Just a quick question first about the calendar. I noticed summer vacation for school children starts on June 17th. Is that going to make your task harder winning?
Oh, not at all. I think we bear no risk in terms of turnout and people actually reclaiming the will that they already put into power. So I think this time it's impossible for the ruling party to play around with calendars, to play around with sentiments, because people have already spoken. It's just going to be a reclaim of a very strong will that we've observed.
Now, among the claims made by the ruling AKP that you have to have civil servants who stand as observers at polling stations, it wasn't the case, they said often. They've also talked about dead people voting. How are you going to prepare for the next time around?
I think first we have to put it very straightforward on table. This decision has no legal grounds. So the question is not an issue of how judicially we would approach the issue, right? The decision was purely political. Therefore, it's on us to carry on the political will and the power of the people. And despite the party-state apparatus being very effectively used by the ruling party in the past several elections, indeed, the people held on to democratic values. A very broad-based, widespread, if you wish, coalition is already in place. So that's what we have to repeat again. And I think this has become a very organic coalition and alliance. People are coming together based on a democratic quest. And if you have a bloc that's defined as the ruling party who's attempting to move Turkey further towards authoritarianism, and now even attempting to remove its competitive nature, I think the democratic coalition is only going to get stronger. So the question is, we have to ensure that this hope and this willful approach continues.
Yeah, I was going to say, among the parties, the opposition HDP party did not field a candidate in the March 31st elections. Are you going to need a broader coalition this time to win?
So we're hearing of several smaller minority parties of deciding not to run or have candidates in the next round of these elections.
Do you have confirmation of that?
I think the question is really not going to be one. So yes, from several smaller parties, we've heard confirmation of it. But I think the question is really not one of which parties are going to run. It's really what we're observing is a will that's being forced to the political parties through the people. So it's the coalition that I value most is one that's formed among the larger public. And the larger public has come together around very critical values that are core values of our human existence, right? So democracy is one, a judicial rule of law is another. So people are gathering around these values and enforcing political parties to ensure that this bloc of democratic quest actually wins. So I have no doubt political parties are going to take suit and follow the people's will that has already formulated.
Now, when your candidate won by 13,000 votes in a city where there are some 10 million eligible voters, were you braced for a rerun? Were you surprised by this announcement?
I think we have to make note that regimes that are moving towards authoritarianism bear no surprises in them, right? The nature of this regime itself is one where there are no rules, but one where rules are dictated by individuals. So we don't have institutions and norms that we can rely on, but rather we have a discretionary view of individuals. So I don't think I would define this as a surprise. It's very unfortunate for Turkey. It's very unfortunate for Turkey's very bright future and the potential that it bears. But I don't think anybody was taken by surprise. What's unfortunate is that there is a bloc that exceeds 50% of the public that has been holding on to democratic values for the past 5 years, regardless of amazing oppression, regardless of a state apparatus that is being used to the extremes by the ruling party. So the regime that is defined by the ruling party is one where I would say is attempted now to be moved towards a full authoritarian dictatorial system. And these systems bear no surprises if you're looking for democracy in it. But I think it falls on us, those of us in Turkey who have held on to democracy and who are observing a very large public support for this quest, to continue to grow this and to continue to basically flourish the idea that democracy is indeed in the groundwork here. So this is basically a clash of two blocks within a system.
Selin Sayek-Böke, member of the Turkish Parliament for the opposition CHP party. Thank you for speaking with us here on France 24.